Hi, I'm Tavit from King Post, and we're coming out with a card game based on the book Moby Dick. While you don't really need to know anything about the story to enjoy the game mechanics, people really seem to enjoy the quick summary that I would do for any of our testers that hadn't read the book. It's important to understand that Moby Dick is so much more than the plot points of Ishmael's doomed adventure aboard the Pequod. It's a true classic of literature that ruminates on the romance of the sea and camaraderie of mankind and our place in the universe, but most people get really bored by those chapters, so I'm about to run you through the basic plot points so you can get a sense of what happened. So here, for all your viewing pleasure and perhaps shortcutting that lit essay that you're writing, is my very abridged version of Moby Dick. Ishmael is a young New Yorker that decides to ship out on a whaling voyage to fight the damp, drizzly November in his soul. He travels to New Bedford, where he wanders into a whaler's bar and lodges the Spouter Inn. He's forced to share a bed with a seriously awesome Polynesian harpooner covered in tattoos named Queequeg. Over the course of their maybe lusty, maybe just friendly first night together, they become bosom friends and commit to shipping out together on the same whaling boat. They travel to Nantucket and sign on to crew the Pequod, a whale ship captained by the notorious Ahab, an older whale hunter who had his leg bitten off by an even more notorious albino whale, Moby Dick. The voyage begins, and we meet various crew members, mates, and harpooneers aboard the Pequod. Ishmael wonders why he's never seen Ahab on the deck, while the other crew members swear they hear voices below the deck late at night, alluding to some stowaways that might be on board. Ahab finally emerges and whips the crew into a frenzy when he reveals that the true purpose of their voyage is to catch the legendary white whale that bit off his leg. Starbuck, the pious first mate, already starts to think that the captain's going a little crazy. The crew spot a whale, and it turns out that Ahab brought along a few secret sailors to crew his personal whaleboat. Among them is the sinister Fedallah, a seemingly unholy sailor that may or may not have a tail. The book then veers around for many chapters explaining the sometimes technical, sometimes embellished processes and representations of whaling, so that the intended reader, landlubbers, have a better sense of the world of whaling and the ridiculous hunts and battles to come. Like, basically, humans hunt these gigantic whales in tiny boats with sticks that have little bits of pointy iron at the end of them. Humans are the underdogs, whales are the front runners, and there's a lot of ways that sailors can die at sea. So finally, after a beautiful and exhaustive journey through fact and fiction and gray areas in between, we'll return to the Pequod in time to see the crew being dragged further from their mission of hunting any whales by Ahab's monomaniacal quest for vengeance against that one whale, the white one, the one that loves to attack ships and can't seem to be killed. So as the crew finally get desperate enough to act, they try to mutiny, only to be interrupted by a killer storm that happens to throw a thunderbolt at a harpoon that's sitting on deck, which catches fire. Ahab dramatically raises the flaming harpoon, and once blowing out the flame, drains the mutiny right out of the crew. Finally, the Pequod spots Moby Dick and gives chase. They hunt Moby Dick for 3 days, during which Moby Dick proves he's the stuff of legend and sinks the Pequod by ramming it, then proceeds to kill every single crew member except for Ishmael, who lives to tell the tale. Thus, call me Ishmael. So that was just a collection of some of the important plot points from the chapters of the book that describe the Pequod's doomed voyage. The book is loaded with meaning and mechanics that were lovingly adapted into our game, so stay tuned for more videos where we'll actually talk you through the mechanics of a whale hunt in the 1800s and other concepts and themes that made it into our game. And until then, thank you so much for watching, and tell your friends, tell everybody, we're making a game on Moby Dick!